This is 5 ChatGPT tricks I wish I knew earlier. Number 1, personalize. ChatGPT has the option, as you might all know, to personalize it, meaning you can personalize the way in which it answers and what information it has about you, how you wish it to respond, and what it should know about any specific part of your life. I advise you to use that feature. If you, within ChatGPT, click on your profile or on this little settings icon, then there will be an option to click to personalize ChatGPT. You can put in important information about yourself, how you want it to answer, and what it should know. If you have a company account, so an entire team running on this ChatGPT account, then you obviously don't want to just give information about specifically yourself, but just about the company and your business. If you have a personal ChatGPT account, I strongly advise you to do this. For example, I told him how I want him to answer. I'm very, very interested in business, fitness, and boxing, which is a hobby of mine. So I told him about that, and to answer my question, rated on which topic I want to talk about in either through the eyes of an experienced businessman. You can give him examples here. I used Alex Hormozy because I liked him. I used Steve Jobs because Steve Jobs is arguably the greatest entrepreneur of all time. You can just pick your favorite ones. If you like investing, maybe pick Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, whoever is your favorite, or some that I use. Just for example, if you have any hobbies or interests yourself that you want to learn more about outside of just business, will find someone who's experienced in there that you can tell to ChatGPT, answer like him, answer like he would answer. And then for the big me part, what ChatGPT should know about you, this is a really, really large window that you have some thousands of characters that you can put in. Try and use as many of these as you can to tell them everything about you and yourself. Yes, arguably we don't exactly know where this data will go. I, for my part, do not care about my data as much as long as it serves me. So I'm of the opinion they can work with my data and train their models on it if in return the answers and the help I get is outstandingly good, which it is if I tell them certain things about myself. So I did that. I told them about what I do, the chatbots I built, why I built them, for whom I built them, why it is specifically SaaS I built them for. Number 2, this is a little nice short one. Upload pictures of yourself in a separate channel so that you can create images of yourself. So if you are on the free plan of ChatGPT, you have 3 images a day, I believe. And I advise you to choose a few images of yourself from different angles and upload 3 of them a day to a ChatGPT channel so that he can learn how you look like, what you look like, and what your characteristics are. And then if you ask him to create a picture that pictures you in any specific pose, he can do that, which is really, really nice for social media posts, for example. And when I do posts on LinkedIn now again, or on YouTube sometime as well. By the way, you can check out my post tab. I like to use pictures of myself in a comic style, for example. Obviously, if you don't want ChatGPT to know anything about you or to know how you look like, which I can totally understand, and then you can leave that out. It is though a nice little thing to play around. Number 3, custom chats. So you know that every time when you have a question or you want ChatGPT to do something, you start a new chat, which can be really confusing as this model is quite new. We know it's 3 years old. It can remember, yes, it can remember stuff really, really good, as I told you in number 1, the personalization. But I advise you to have one channel that you write with ChatGPT for every specific thing in your life and your business that you are interested in. For example, I have one channel for sales. I have one chat with him that I only speak about sales with him. Then I have one for marketing. I have one especially for social media, YouTube videos, and social media posts. Or I even have one for posts and one for videos. I have one for my product and developing the chatbots. I have one for communicating with clients. I have one for weightlifting and fitness, and I have one for boxing. There might be some other ones, but these 8 are the main ones I have. And I advise you to do the same because if you speak about one topic for every chat and just one topic, and whenever you have a question regarding that topic, you can return to the chat and ask questions. It is just easier for ChatGPT to remember, to put your questions and your problems into context, and to ultimately help you out better. And then every time you want to know something of him that doesn't fit in any of these and you might not use in the future. You can just use a one-time chat. I don't know what it's called in English. You know, the little icon you click and then it forgets just as soon as you close the tab. And you can do that one, or you open an entirely new chat for an entirely new topic. But I advise you one topic for each chat, just so ChatGPT doesn't get confused and can give you better answers. And well, I know there is custom GPTs out there, so pre-built pre-built chats for certain topics, but these custom GPTs cannot access the custom knowledge base about yourself and the personalization you put in. So this will just be a mess to tell them all the things again. Don't use GPTs, just make one chat for each topic that you want to talk about. Number 4, remember this. Let's say you have a chat about software development because you're a SaaS or a software company, and you're talking about specifically software development in one chat. And there is something that is really, really important to you that he now understands, that because you've just made a massive shift in your software and you want him to remember this, then you can just tell him, hey, remember what I just told you, and he will put it in a knowledge base about you. There is a certain amount of things that he can remember about you. It will tell you somewhere, I believe, right when you open ChatGPT on the top, it will tell you 80% in percentages how full your knowledge base is and how full the knowledge is that he once remembered about you. You can clear that out, you can delete things in there, and you can put new things in. So if you have something in some chat, whichever chat, and that is really important to you, you can just tell him, remember this, and he'll remember and be able to use this information for further conversations. And number 5, let him challenge your ideas, especially in business, right? When you have a new idea, we have new ideas all of the time, right? You're having a business and you're working and you have this really exciting new idea that you want to try out. In your eyes, every idea you have will look extremely good. That's just the nature of us humans having ideas. And if you have a team or partners and you tell them this idea, chances are they won't be entirely true to you just because they're working for you. And even if they're not aware of it, they might be biased because you're their boss or their partner to not really tell you the truth. But it is necessary that before we jump into the ocean, that we check what's in there, right? So Steve Jobs used to do this whenever an developer or one of the employees of Apple in the early days came to him with something new, he would always challenge the ideas. Even if he liked the idea, he would always challenge it to see how the person behind it was prepared for his idea, how the person stood behind his idea, and how good this idea really was. He was always challenging the idea. And if you have no one to around you to challenge you, or even if you have one, I advise you to use ChatGPT with a different view on this, with with a more objective view, to challenge anything that you come up with, just to shit test your ideas before you jump into the ocean of sharks to check, is the water clear. This was all I have for you today. If you liked these, then you will certainly enjoy a video that is around the screen somewhere about ChatGPT as well, or something else. Regardless, here will be a video that you can watch next. I wish you nothing but success and a wonderful day. Goodbye.